What's up, y'all? It's your girl and I'm back for another video. What's up, y'all? Before we get started with today's video, I have a shout out that I want to give for an up and coming YouTuber. Let's go over and show her some support. Her name is Charlene. Her YouTube channel name is Charlene XO, and she is a homeschool mom of 3. She's married and she works full time. She's got a YouTube channel that has content that provides tips and advice to homeschool parents and parents who have kids in school as well. Charlene is such a nice person. We've had so many conversations back and forth via email, and you can just tell she's genuinely here to help, and she's passionate about what she does. So be sure to check her out, guys. Her ultimate goal, of course, is to help parents who want to take their kids' education into their own hands, and she is willing to help you figure out how to help your kids with their homework, create schedules, talking with their teachers, all of the things that us as parents could use more support and knowledge in. So guys, do me a favor, go ahead and head over to Charlene XO. She is awesome. Her content is amazing, and you will not be disappointed with the information that you receive from her channel. All of her information is down in the description box below. Please be sure to check it out and head on over, subscribe, and tell her your girl Chrissy sent ya. Talk to you guys really quickly just about what it's like and how I've been coping, or how to cope with having a child that's not in the home full time. And it's hard for me to talk about, but I've had a few people ask me to do this video, so I figured I'll just go ahead and put it together. Maybe I can help somebody else. That's why I do these videos that I do. So those of you who are familiar with my story, I have my little 4-year-old. I have joint custody with his father, and he primarily lives in Colorado at this point in time. I went through a serious battle with his father for months, 3 to 4 months in 2018, and it was very, very difficult. I chose to go unrepresented because I just knew that it was gonna go my way. Long story short, it did not. So in the end, this is the ruling that got given, and so this is what we're living with right now. Take it back to when I was going through the actual custody battle. For anybody who's going through it, number one, I suggest you get an attorney. There's a lot of legal aid websites and help out there. You just have to go through them and go through the process. Sometimes I feel like they are helpful and sometimes they're not. I went through a couple. One of them did not want to take my case because it wasn't criminal, and I made too much. But you know, I've got my feelers out there for some other different ideas for securing really good legal guidance going forward. The first time I reached out to like a legal aid, I got turned down or denied or whatever, and I kind of was like, okay, well, that was the end of that. So don't stop there. There's usually more than one association that you can go through, and so just do some research, ask around. 9 times out of 10, somebody you know has went through that before, or you can call around and ask, and somebody can point you in the right direction. That's my suggestion. But definitely obtain a legal team, because you're gonna need that, okay? You just don't go in it alone like I did. I've said this before, no matter how cut and dry you think your case is, or how incompetent you think somebody is, or maybe or whatever, and you're like, there's just no way they're gonna win over me, just be safe rather than sorry and secure that legal help. Going through that process was extremely stressful. I still don't know to this day how I made it out alive. There was lots of days that I just literally emotionally felt dead, because there's no handbook on how to go through something like that. It was really extremely hard for me to go through a situation that I did not know, where I did not know what was going to happen at the end of the day. And during that time, my son was with his dad, so he wasn't even with me, and I was going through that not knowing if he was gonna come home or not. That was really hard. My biggest worry came from the unknown, and that was because I was not represented by anybody and I was represented by myself. If you have legal representation, that takes a lot of the worry because they're there to tell you, okay, this is what's more likely gonna happen, and this is what, you know. I didn't have that guidance, so I really was alone, and so I was afraid and scared and stressed out. So in order to make it through, I just tried to stay positive, and I just told myself, you know what, I'm not gonna think of any more negativity. I know that, you know, I'm gonna be okay, we're gonna be okay. Just think of the positive, keep my eye on the prize. Because if I get depressed now, I'm not gonna be able to be strong for him. And so with that being said, that's what got me through. After the ruling, I had a really hard time. Was really difficult for me to pull through, but I did. Gave myself a few days to be down and out, and then after that I said, you know what, this does not have to remain this way. This is not something that cannot be changed. This is something that I can fight and will fight. I had to pick myself up, dust myself off, and tell myself that this is temporary. Like all things in trials and tribulations in life, this is temporary. And that's what carries me through still to this day. It's hard. I cry sometimes, and I know I cry when he cries and he doesn't want to leave, or if, you know, it's just, it's hard. Biggest advice that I would have for somebody who is going through a custody battle right now, besides to get an attorney, which is what I really stress, is to just keep your eye on the prize and remember who you're doing it for. Because it's easy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I wanted to call and just, or send a message and just be like, you son of a, you mother, you know, and just go off, but remain professional. Keep your personal out of it and just keep it about the kid. And that's really hard to do, but you have to do that because you don't want to be in a situation where you get to court and they're like, look at how she talked or whatever. So even though I have my opinions of the other party, I try to keep that to myself, and if I have to vent, I'll vent to like my husband or something like that, because I don't want to pick up this phone and get to texting, because then it's gonna be real bad. And then as far as what I say to my son, I don't talk about it at all. I don't talk about it in the terms of, you live here now, you don't live here, because I don't want to ever make him feel like he does not live here. My house will always be his home, no matter what the circumstance will ever be. And so I don't ever talk to him in terms of that. I kind of just say, you know, me and your daddy have to share you. And it's hard, but we both love you a lot and we both want to spend time with you. So you have to spend some time here and you have to spend some time there. As far as what his dad speaks to him about and what he tells him, I have no idea. I just pray to God that it's nothing ignorant. The fact is, we both love our son. And I have to remind myself that sometimes, because it's easy for me to just be like, again, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I appreciate the fact that he wants to fight to make sure that he is actively in his son's life. I just do not respect the way that he went about doing that, if that makes any sense. So I'm not bitter or mad that he wants to be a part of my son's life, because my son needs him. He tried to cut me out in order to do that. And because I don't feel like either one of us are more important than the other. You see what I'm saying? So I really want to make sure that going forward, especially as my son gets older, that he has an equal opportunity to both of us. But I really want Cash to be here primarily. That's my goal. So I'm still gonna fight for that. I still have not given up hope. I'm always gonna hold on to that. But you know, I just try to keep that away from his eyes, because he does not need to be around that or know anything about the fight that's going on in the background. All he needs to know is that mommy loves him and daddy loves him, and that's all he's gonna ever know. Because I don't want him to feel hurt or pain. He's only 4, he's just a baby. You see what I'm saying? But I know that there's a woman out here right now that's going through something similar, or is going through exactly the same thing. And I just want to tell you, sis, hang in there. You can do this. It's hard. If you have to cry, cry. Just hang in there. It's hard, but you have to stay strong and get to the end, and you can do it. So just do it. You know, us mothers, we always make a way out of no way. So you do what you have to do for your baby or babies, okay? And you deal with you at the end when it's over. But you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you get it done right now. Going back to how I felt and how I still feel in a way, it's really hard to imagine my son not being raised by me enough. Does that make sense? I am grateful that, you know, his dad is in a relationship, so there is a woman figure there. So I don't have to worry too much about that aspect of it. I don't know her, I don't communicate with her. That is not really my choice, it's by their choice. They don't want anything to do with me, which is fine. I feel like that is immature, but I can't make someone want to talk to me. So it kind of is what it is. As long as I have communication with my son when he's not here, I guess I really cannot speak on anything else. From what I, you know, hear and things like that, she seems like she treats my son well, and so that's good. But nonetheless, would I prefer her to raise my son primarily over me? No. We all know at this age and stage in the game how important your being a mom is to your babies. Not saying one is more important than the other, just how important it is for him to be with or around his mother. And so I feel like that was taken from me. But like I said, I am not giving up hope. I am not going to feel down and out. I'm going to stay strong until the end of this and it's settled and I have him primarily here. I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to feel sad or cry about it. But it's on my mind constantly. I never stop thinking about my next step, my next move, my next plan. And I'm just waiting until the right time, and then everything I feel like is gonna fall into place. I hope that this little sit down chat kind of like uplifts somebody and lets you guys know kind of how I made it through. I'm not all the way through to the other side yet. I feel like I made it through one part just to go through a whole second trial and tribulation. But I do feel like that going through what I went through so far and things being the way that they are right now, I have learned a lot. And so I want to share that with the world so that you guys can take it and do what you will with it. You know, use it, don't use it, whatever, but at least learn from what I've been through. And hopefully there's a great portion of people who watch this video and will never know what I'm talking about. I pray that that stays that way for all of you, but for the percentage of women who have went through or are going through what I'm going through, I like to talk to you specifically, because a lot of times as mothers, we suffer in silence, because that's what we're supposed to do. And it's hard to be strong through a storm. And I'm going through a little storm right now, but it's gonna get better. I just keep telling myself it's gonna get better. Like I said, some days I'm down and it's hard and I'm just like, oh. But you know, for the most part, I try to tuck it, acknowledge that it's there, tuck it away for now, and say, we're gonna get through this. I'm not gonna feel better until he's home, primarily. But I have to go off of the things that I do have, like the fact that he's here all summer, the fact that I talk to him as much as I want, he's healthy. I have to go off of what I do have, not what I don't have, Because if I continuously focus on what I don't have right now, I would be depressed and I would not be able to probably get out of the bed. So focus on what you do have. Focus on what is going good, because it's easy to focus on what's not going good. And also, I wanna say this, I am blessed. And every time that I forget or I doubt that, I get more and more blessings. So sometimes they don't come right when you want them, but they're always on time. So I just remind myself that, and I'm just holding out for more and more blessings. Okay? You do that too, girl. No matter what it be, whether it be this or something else, somebody needs to hear that today. So there you go. I hope that you guys learned a little bit from this, and if not, at least enjoyed this video. I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys in the next vlog. Bye.